My iconic picture was the 1990s April 9th picture when we got democracy and the victory rally, which I took in open air theatre, Turi Khel, Khula Manch, which we call. Now that's also, that area is the place. Lots of political mass meeting, lots of things happen. Turi Khel. Turi Khel is the open air theatre just down there, right? So that picture became iconic, and because of the picture, that lady also became a popular. And
There was something exuberant and
yeah,
spontaneous.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what do you think it was about the image that made it so
Well, I was taking picture, the mass picture, from the west to east, because I don't have a panoramic wide lens, all these sort of things. I had a 105 2.5 tele lens, so I capture piece and piece to join and show the panoramic vision, to show the big mass that time, right? Then suddenly, when after 3 clicks, on the 4 clicks, suddenly she stood up and I could capture click, 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 3, 4 snaps. That's it, and she should shut down. And that time I have colleagues, friends from the India Today photographer Prashant Panjir and other photographer also there. But luckily, or I think in international, all the photographers became celebrities, popular because of their dedication, their continue working. One snap is enough.
So can you say a little bit more about why that picture was so successful, so powerful? Was she
Well,
very beautiful?
later
Was
on,
she-
yes, later on, I start learning the pictures. Why people love this picture? Why this picture became so popular? Comparing other international pictures and reading all international pictures, why this Steve McCurry's pictures is so popular? Because when I read that National Geography, 1985, the cover photo of the Afghan girl, there was a saying written about that picture: 20th century is the best portrait taken by Steve McCurry, so and so of this, and the picture shows the eyes, all this fairness, all this, and of course the photojournalism I have learned doing by learning by doing, and lots of practice and lots of books reading, seeing lots of pictures appreciated by the people, which people don't know that photojournalist is taking picture. Never pose picture, because pose picture is newspaper can always use, asking with the personal who is taking interview, or they can get from the studio taking pose picture. But photojournalist is, what I think, try to learn the personality's character, and that picture, that portrait shows the personality's character, expression, feelings, all these situation, right? So that moment picture shows the people's power, and not only the people's powers, also the woman's dearness, female's power, right? And of course the title is became very popular, Dawn of Democracy.
And other
And
images
that picture not dominated by any political flag. Picture shows only the people's spontaneous feelings, power.
So did every party try and use it?
Yes, because that picture has a slightly diffuse Hasiya Hathoda communist flag, and that picture has a 4 tara Congress flag include, but not sharp dominated by the flag. If that picture dominated by the flag, then only the Congress use that picture for their proudness and involvement, right? But both parties' flag is there, but people's power and people's aggressive, people's happy, feelings are there. That's why I believe that. That's why people love to use that picture as a symbolic identity.
So you were saying earlier that in some protests and demonstrations, people know, they're familiar with your older photographs and
Yes.
they perform. It's
Yes.
almost like
Yes.
your photograph was a script
Yes.
that they then act out.
Right. I mean, one picture is used by one of our finance minister. The book called Defense of Democracy. You can see that, the Defense of Democracy. Well, that picture is I took from the Bajracharya, and I think the first time the mass rally happened, come from the Singhadarwar ministerial buildings, whole full of that area is, you know, the Bajracharya, right? That full of the people demonstration, and I took from little bit high angle, composing with the statue of one of the Rana's statue, and the flag is something carving with the Hashi Athoda, and one gentleman up on the statue and doing like this. And this symbolic many times after when we have a lots of julus, you know, rally, they says, oh, let's make a Durga Thapa's action, you know.
So you mean people
People
perform
because
the photograph?
and that doesn't come a feeling.
So the
You know,
photograph
if I
is
say Usha makes a action like that, Durga's how come? But spontaneously she is on the julus and daring to shouting everything. So the natural action is always valued, I guess. Natural action. And my passion of photography in portrait is always natural moment. After the royal massacre, Gyanendra became a king, of course. Then king has to, in Nepalese political history, during the kingship, king has to address the parliamentary. And the first time after the Gyanendra became a king, he has to address the parliament. And parliament is in Singhadarwar. So he came to the parliament and I followed, because that time I was quite active in photojournalism, of course. So I have access everywhere. So I was following from getting off from the main car, you know, his carters, royal carters, right? So entering and following from the backside, like click, you know. And of course the action of greetings, namaste, you know, like this. And I have a lots of picture of everybody's namaste greetings, and only one or maybe two pictures that the Prime Minister hand is down and King Gyanendra's hand is always like this. And that picture shows the Prime Minister is very powerful than the king. And that doesn't appeal or digest for the royal that time, you know.
So that became
Royal Ashe Pashe we call,
Yeah.
the periphery, royal periphery, secretariat, you know, all these information, royal press department. And one of the royal press department's officer, Mr. Acharya, called me and saying, it's not good, you know. You think the king is
Was
less.
it a threatening call or?
Well, that was kind of threatening, but they can't, because I was not just a simple photographer that time, because I became a quite public personality, so they couldn't toss me.
So they couldn't exclude you.
But they tried to threaten, just like, what is your intention? You know? And, well, my intention is very clear. And is there any power of photographer that photographer can dictate to the editor saying this picture should be published, this should not be published? It's a editor's idea.
You were saying that you thought that picture had changed public
Yes,
sentiment, public
that picture has
had a
changed the
real
public's, of course, that attitude, you know. because the public said, "Oh, Prime Minister is," especially the Congress said, Congress people, they became too proud. Our Prime Minister is such a dynamic king, see. But it's their misunderstanding,
So you said power of the third eye, but you insisted on that title.
Yes, power of the third eye is always, I believe, the photography. And when I go to teach and when I go for my lecture to some mass communication college, I always insist, young photographer in art faculty, I always says, believe first with your body's lens, which is eye, power of the third eye. Other don't big lens and big camera is just a tool.
Right.
And don't.
So third eye like.
Yes, just like a Shiva's third eye.
This is
Yes.
the kind of.
You have to have a
body camera.
Yes, you have to have a framing with your eyes, your valuable lens, rather than your couple of thousands tool lens. Make a sense first, then use the lens. So that's why the power of third eye, right?
So the third eye also is a beam of fire. Yeah, Ardka Drishti,
Arko Drishti, yes.
So photography is also like fire, you think? Or?
Yeah, yes. There are lots of pictures. One of our friend, Salikram, Salikram, he happened to take a picture, one picture in the school, the assembly. Lots of parade happening, in the assembly, and one girl is on the wall, looking like holding the wall and looking that parade assembly in the school, and because that girl could not study, and she's unprivileged, so that picture published in the newspaper, and it's a power, that fire, that message gone to the society, that why. So that lady, that girl, society found, and she could go to the school because of the photographer's vision, right? And there are so many incidents during the political movements, and whether it's a cultural movements or it's a political movements, lots of change because of the photographic